Hey guys, it's Cardo and welcome to the channel. In this video, we're going to be focusing on reconditioning the leather for this 2018 Escalade. So that means we're going to deep clean it, condition it, and then we're going to apply a sealant on top so that way it protects it from the UV rays, dye transfer, or even just general dirt, grime, and debris. Now, as you guys can see, we have some leather on both the top and the lower portions of the doors, some on the seats, center console, and on the top part of the dash. Lots of work to do because we have a couple of seats back there. This is I don't know if you guys count the center seat in the back over there, but this is like a 6-seat, 7-seat interior, so lots of work to do here. Now I'm going to show you guys my process on how I clean and condition leather. So whether you're a car professional or a car enthusiast, make sure you stick around so you guys can see the whole process during the video. So let's get straight into it. Leather is a unique material that is often seen in luxury vehicles. It's beautiful when paired with the right colors, however, if left untreated for excessive periods of time, it could have potential to crack, fade, or on the seats have a lot of dye transfer. In this video, I will walk you guys my process on how I detail and condition leather to the best of my abilities. Now, this vehicle isn't dirty by no means, but it's the protection that is key to ensure that the leather doesn't experience any defects in its lifespan. I will share some tips and tricks for my enthusiasts or professional detailers out there who want to learn how to clean and maintain leather, so grab a drink, a couple of snacks, and enjoy the video. No deep clean is properly done without removing the loose dirt or crumbs from the surface. A thorough vacuum was done on all the surfaces of the interior where grime tends to get stuck between the crevices. As a detailer, it is important to vacuum first, because if the agitation phase went first, I would have just been rubbing all that grit on the surface, which would make deep cleaning messier and have the potential to scratch something if overlooked. Crumbs and small pieces of rock or sand are annoying to work on a surface, so vacuuming it up ensures that there are no potential scratches. Now, this interior is not by any means filthy, but rather dusty, so on the areas like the doors, it was more of a dust than a vacuum. If I wanted to, I could have just wiped it with a damp towel, but getting into the nooks and crannies, even if the surface wasn't made of leather, is key when presenting it back to the owner, because nothing is worse than spending hours on a detail only to realize that you missed a spot, which could dismiss you as a detailer from the client. So providing an overall good clean is crucially important, especially on surfaces that only focus on one thing, such as a leather treatment. Next up is the actual deep clean phase. Here we start by brushing the surfaces with an APC or degreaser. I use Super Clean 10:1, which has enough cleaning power for moderate to light surfaces. Because these seats are perforated, which means they have small holes for the seat warmers, I spray my cleaner onto the brush to avoid excess product from clogging up or reactivating in the small holes. It is then brushed on all surfaces, leaving behind a clean surface, which, as you could see, there was definitely some grime or human grease picked up on my towel, so another light pass was called to order to ensure that the conditioning phase had a better bond with the leather. When working with surfaces that have more than one material, it is important to let the owner know what you are going to clean. For instance, in my leather reconditioning service, I will only deep clean the leather and nothing more. Sure, I will give other surfaces a light wipe down, but the focus of a leather service is, well, the leather. Deep cleaning other non-leather surfaces not only adds time, but cost. So it is important that the owner acknowledges what you're going to clean. If you're a detailer, you may or may not agree with me, but that is okay. It is just simply the way I do things to ensure that my clients are getting what they agreed with. For my detailers out there, if you have ever wondered on how you could tell if a leather surface is clean or not, allow me to demonstrate it to you with sound. Authentic leather is easy to tell if it is clean or not. Once it is clean, it should feel really soft to the touch with no drag on your fingers or gloves. Dirty leather is grippy and it makes this rubber sound if you rub your hand over it, so those are two good indicators that the leather needs cleaning. Vinyl seats, however, are a little tricky because the clear coat, in some cases, is too thick and sounds rough even when properly cleaned, so your only indicator for those seats is your towel. So constantly flipping and checking to see how much grease and grime is being pulled off is important to ensure a clean surface for the conditioning phase of the detail. I proceeded with my deep clean on other surfaces. All of the other seats are perforated on the upper and lower middle sections, so same principle on how to apply the cleaner. Now, I don't want to bore you guys with the same procedure on 7 seats, so on to the next section, which is the dash. Here it is a lot easier since the dash is just a solid piece of leather. The only other materials are plastic and glass, but that can be easily mopped up if there is any overspray. Some cleaner was applied on both the surface and my brush, and while it may seem I am putting too much product, it is okay because I am covering a larger area, so enough cleaner to spread the product is needed to work more efficiently. For my detailers out there, when working on the dash, it is best that you have multiple towels and brushes with different sizes to ensure that a thorough clean is achievable. Vehicles with a lot of gauges and monitoring devices, or even complicated shapes can give you a tough time if you rely too much on one tool to just do it all. Not to say that it isn't achievable, but it's just that you will be wasting too much time on an area that another tool could have covered in less passes, so efficiency will be a struggle in that scenario. Here in this example, I use a 6-inch brush to cover majority of the surface of the dash, while in the more intricate areas I use a boar's hair detail brush to get into the complicated areas. It allows me to clean in the tighter spots without spraying too much product. Having enough tools may sound like a big cost if you're just starting out or on a budget, but the thing is, you are buying time, and time wasted is time you could have been working on something else at the end of the day. Onward to the doors. Nothing too different here, however, attention to details is crucial in these areas since there is usually more than one material other than leather. On this door there was suede, clear coat wood, vinyl, and plastic. Tackling the door, I use a detailed brush, and while I could have just used my 6-inch brush, there are way too many curves and edges, so I will only use it for large or flat surfaces. Areas like the armrests, a simple once-over will not cut it since it is often populated with arm grease and debris. So either a more aggressive cleaner or more agitation is needed to ensure a squeaky clean surface can be achieved. For my mobile detailers out there, especially in Southern California like I am, you're probably more than aware that the sun is not your best friend. Doing interior details can be a bit taxing on yourself during the summer, so it is important to stay hydrated during the job. Not just yourself, but the surface that you are cleaning as well. Here, I work in small sections with a smaller detail brush to which is then mopped up almost immediately. My advice for my detailers out there is that if you are dealing with light or moderate dirt, work in small to medium sections like I am doing right here. But if you have a filthy vehicle that requires a stronger cleaner, work in even smaller sections and double time on the wipe because strong cleaners on the sun have the potential to stain the surface, which would pretty much compromise your results. So either request the vehicle to be parked in the shade or bring a canopy to have a peace of mind. However, if neither options are available, you will just need to hustle and take it on the chin. With fully prepped surfaces, it is time to condition and protect the leather. I like to use the lotions provided by Chemical Guys because they have an easy on and easy off application, leaving a matte finish with a buttery smooth surface. All the treated surfaces will receive a base coat of conditioner and a final coat of sealant. The conditioner is kind of like lotion for your skin. It helps moisturize the leather to prevent it from drying up and cracking under the rays of the sun. The sealant, as the name implies, seals the leather with a protective barrier to prevent future dye transfer and cracking. It also makes maintenance easier since grime and debris doesn't stick on as easily as a bare surface with no protection on it. Personally, I like to go over the whole car with a base coat first, so that way I can speed up my process without having any downtime in between seats. The conditioner was lightly applied, and on the perforated areas, I prime my pad first and dab it out to avoid the product from clogging up the holes. Areas like the door handles, dash, and center console that don't have leather, a simple wipe can easily remove the conditioner that may have been applied. For my detailers, a good tip when working outdoors is to not let the conditioner sit for too long in the sun. It can leave a streaky residue that is tricky to remove if overlooked, so with a lightly damp towel, buff off any excess or dried up conditioner when working in the sun. The sealant is applied in the same way as the conditioner. Apply and buff. Because the sealant is the last protective barrier of the surface, it is important to make sure that an even coat is applied throughout the surfaces. For my detailers, if there is a high spot, which is most noticeable on dark colored leather, you will need to either blend it in the surface using a little more sealant to reactivate it, or, in the worst case that it dries up, you will need to brush it again from square one. It is a lengthy process to do this again on such delicate material, so apply patiently and keep an eye on how much you are using. Apply too much and you will end up doing double the work, which adds time and costs, further lowering your efficiency. And there you have it, guys, a leather conditioning service. This wasn't intended to be a full-fledged detail, but rather showcasing my process on how I condition and protect leather. I hope this video informed you guys on certain expectations when looking for a detailer to work on your leather. That, or if you are a detailer yourself, hopefully this video was informative on teaching you a thing or two about leather conditioning. And that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe down below if you want to see any more future content like this down the road. Thank you for watching, stay safe, and stay fresh.